Bags, it's great to be with you. Thank you for having me.
I want to move to immigration. On the border right now at San Diego and Tijuana, you've got this caravan that is coming through. They came from Central America. I guess they do this every year, and Obama just let them do it every year, but now we're actually saying, no, you can't just come here. They want political asylum in the United States, but their buddies are in Mexico. Ted, is there any good reason why people who need political asylum from the horribleness that's going on in Central America, and I believe them, it's horrible there, why can't they ask for asylum where they are? Why can't they stay in Mexico? Why is it that we somehow owe people the ability to just flood our border, come in, 1,500 families, whatever it is, and just take, pitch their tent? I mean, why is it that we're the guys that always have to say, sure, we'll do it because nobody else will? Let them stay in Mexico, or maybe do it the right way. Go to the U.S. Embassy or the consulate and try to come in the legal way.
Well, Joe, they can't stay in Mexico because Mexico will deport them.
Yeah.
They're illegal aliens in Mexico, and then Mexico actually doesn't welcome illegal aliens. They enforce their immigration laws. And we should do the same. If someone is seeking asylum, our asylum laws are very clear. You can seek asylum when you have a credible threat of persecution targeted at you. What we're seeing for many of these folks in the caravan is they're simply fleeing poverty in Central America. Now, listen, conditions are hard there. My wife and I, Heidi and I, some years ago did a mission trip to Nicaragua where we drilled a water well there and worked with as part of the mission team helping people there. There's a lot of poverty there, but poverty under our laws is not grounds for asylum. There's 7 billion people on the planet Earth, and America doesn't have the resources to simply allow everyone in a state of poverty into this country. Asylum is reserved for those who are facing torture, who are facing direct persecution and have they can demonstrate a credible fear of persecution. That's not what is happening here. And you're seeing politically Democrats taking advantage of this issue because the sad reality is in Washington, elected Democrats in Washington support illegal immigration. That they believe that the illegal immigrants who come to this country will end up voting Democrat. And it's really cynical because I think most Texans, most Americans, we want to see our borders secure.
Yep.
And we also want to welcome and celebrate legal immigrants. If you want to come to this country, there's a right way to do it. You apply for a visa, you come in, you follow the rules, you wait in line. Millions of Americans have done that. And what you don't do is march in a caravan and storm the border and simply demand that you be let in, ignoring the law. That's not right, and it shouldn't be allowed.
It's Senator Ted Cruz, Republican of the great state of Texas. In the remaining minute or so, Ted, the NRA convention is this week. I've been arguing with idiots about the NRA on Twitter for the past 24 hours. John Legend, the singer, for some reason thinks the NRA is selling guns and wants us all to get guns, and if we don't get guns, then we're no good. The NRA is doing all the school shootings and the massacres. How do we possibly turn the tide from these, and I don't even call them progressives, they're like regressives. How do we turn the tide and stop the ability of the media, big Hollywood, big music, all of these states that we have out there indoctrinating people to make them understand the NRA not only has nothing to do with selling guns, it has never had anything to do with any mass shooting at all. In fact, it's just a Second Amendment organization where we all get together, we learn about our rights, and we learn how to handle our firearms safely and securely to defend ourselves and our families. How do we turn that tide? Because so many people, especially the young people, are buying this BS from the media and entertainment. Well,
Pags, you're exactly right. The NRA will be in Dallas. I'm going to be there. I'll be speaking at the NRA convention. And the answer is we tell the truth. Truth is stronger than lies, and light is stronger than darkness. If you want to stop crimes, mass shootings, and all of us want to do that,
yes,
the way you do it is you target violent criminals, you target felons and fugitives, and you come down on them like a ton of bricks. I've been leading the efforts in the Senate to do that, to target the bad guys. What the liberals want to do, they don't want to target the bad guys. Indeed, they filibustered the legislation I introduced to put felons and fugitives in jail who try to illegally buy guns.
Right.
Instead, what they do is they go after the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. That doesn't work. It isn't right. And in Texas, we value our liberties. We know that that is the criminals that are the problem. We need to target the bad guys and protect the good guys.
No, I'm with you, and I think that we can do that, and we certainly we're standing strong. But Ted, if they believe the things they're saying on social media, I mean, this is like a lost cause for a lot of these people. Have you seen some of this garbage?
Oh, sure. And listen, Twitter amplifies everything.
Yeah.
I will say the press is engaged in an all-out propaganda war. True. I don't know if you saw that CNN town hall they had in Florida after the horrific Parkland shooting. In 90 minutes, every single question was, in support of gun control, they apparently couldn't find anyone in the state of Florida who actually supports the Second Amendment. I mean, that at that point was simply a political infomercial, and we're seeing the press pushing their agenda, and many of them live in New York City or on the coast,
right,
and have never been around responsible firearm owners, and so they don't know anything about it. I mean, some of the things they suggest, they don't understand the first thing about, a grandfather taking out his grandson to go duck hunting,
right,
or they don't understand a Stephen Williford using his AR-15 to stop a crazy murderer like happened in Sutherland Springs.
Right.
And as you know, Stephen Williford was an NRA rifle instructor, and
Absolutely.
he exercised his Second Amendment right to save lives. That's what we need to focus on, not the agenda of those on the radical left.
Ted, we appreciate you. It's Senator Ted Cruz, Republican of the great state of Texas. We're back right after this.